ever been out in the sun too long and ended up looking like a lobster? Well, if you get sunburnt easily or have a family history of skin cancer, you have a very high risk of getting melanoma. I'm going to talk about the most dangerous type of skin cancer, melanoma. I will tell you what melanoma is, what it is caused by, and how to prevent getting it. Melanoma is the most dangerous type of skin cancer. It is the leading cause of death from skin disease. It is not the most common of skin cancers, but it causes the most deaths. The American Cancer Society estimates that at present about 120,000 new cases of melanoma in the United States are diagnosed in a year. 1 in 5 Americans will develop skin cancer in the course of a lifetime, and I got that from skincancer.org. So melanoma usually starts as like a mole on your body and like changes, and you can look at your moles, and it's called the ABCDE system to look at if your mole has the symptoms of having melanoma. So the A is if it's asymmetrical, where one half is different than the other, and the B is for borders, so if the edges of the mole are like look weird or irregular, and if the color is if it varies within the mole, and the diameter. A mole is usually larger than 6 millimeters, and that's about the size of a pencil eraser, but it can be bigger or smaller. And for E, the evolution, if it keeps changing in appearance. And I get that from malignant melanoma. Melanoma is caused by ultraviolet radiation from the sun. You have a very high risk of developing melanoma if you have a family history of skin cancer. I have an extremely high chance of getting skin cancer because I have fair skin, and also my mom had melanoma on her shoulder and had a few years ago and had to get a chunk of her shoulder removed. And my grandpa has also had a bunch of different types of cancers. Some causes and risk factors. You're more likely to develop melanoma if you have fair skin, blue or green eyes, or red or blonde hair, and if you live in sunny climates or at high altitudes. If you spend a lot of time in high levels of sunlight because of a job or something, and if you're a kid and you've had one or more blistering sunburns, and if you use tanning devices. Some other risk factors are if you have close relatives with a history of melanoma, if you come in contact with cancer-causing chemicals, if you have certain types of moles or multiple birthmarks, and if you have a weakened immune system due to disease or medication. I got that from cancer.gov. So the best way to prevent skin cancer is to reduce your exposure to sunlight. And here are some tips for preventing getting melanoma. You want to apply high quality sunscreens with SPFs of at least 15, and apply a large amount of sunscreen to all of your exposed areas to the sun, including your ears and feet. And you want to look for sunscreens that block both UVA and UVB light, because they did research and they used to think it was just from UVA light, but they found out it's from UVB light too. And you want to use waterproof sunscreen and apply sunscreen at least 30 minutes before going outside, and reapply it frequently, especially if you're swimming. And other important facts would be to avoid surfaces that reflect light more, such as water, sand, concrete, and white painted areas. And closer to the start of summer, the dangers of getting melanoma are stronger, so you want to apply your sunscreen a lot at the beginning of summer. And your skin burns faster at higher altitudes, and you want to avoid sun lamps, tanning beds, and tanning salons. And I talked about the most deadly form of skin cancer today. I told you what melanoma is, what it is caused by, and how to prevent getting it. You know that if you have a family history and get burned easily, you have a very high risk of getting cancer. So I hope after listening to me, you will be careful out in the sun and not end up looking like a lobster. And those are some pictures of moles of melanoma. So questions?
Does it spread?
Yeah, if it's not, if you don't find it soon enough, it can spread and be deadly.
I had a really good question. I can't remember it. Darn it. I can't remember. I'm sorry. Oh, can you, what if you're wearing clothes? Do you still need to wear SPF?
For better protection, you can.
Like, well, of course you're wearing clothes, but I mean, like, like on your, like your arms. Like, what if you're wearing a long sleeve shirt?
That protects you from the ultraviolet rays, but
Okay.
just for protection, you could wear sunscreen.
Okay.